Welcome you and all to another episode of the Global Latin Factor Podcast, where we talk about Latino everything. Thank you very much for being here, enjoying the content. Make sure you go and subscribe to the channel. You already know we are moving up on 2,000 subscribers, but we need your assistance, your help to watch these episodes, share these episodes, tell your people about what we're doing here for the Latino community, putting in amazing people, amazing stories, doing amazing things in the community, such as these individuals. I have two individuals that I have here today. They are, first of all, hold up, let me go back. Today we have a nonprofit 501c3 organization that focuses on committing to building a foundation for health, finances, mindset, and resources. First foundation in the house, and we have the gentleman that's going to introduce, just like we're going to do like a little pageant thing right here. We have Luis Cepeda. Tell me who we got here.
Yes, my name is Luis Daniel Cepeda, the founder, creator of the First Foundation. And I made this to basically teach financial literacy in Oak Cliff and also mental health awareness and help.
All right, we're
I
going
have
to
my
do like a little
team here.
brief introduction of the members of your foundation so
Mhm.
far. There's only a few of them because there's more. So tell me who we got,
Yeah.
and they're going to kind of do a little walk around thing to here too.
So,
So who we start off with?
so today we have on the catwalk Tina Lamb, my vice president and treasurer.
I'm gonna do the applause.
Me too. I would
Hola, how you doing? Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you. And she does.
She reviews our finances and also she's gonna be in charge of the animal department, I guess, where emotional support
You
animals.
have a zoo. Oh,
Yeah, but
emotional
not
support.
yet, but we'll get there.
Awesome. Thank you very much. We have another gentleman
Miss
here as
Tiger
well.
King.
Please make your way this way. Thank you so much.
This is Nigel Daniel. I mean David. Sorry, Nigel David.
What's up?
Good guy. When we used to work together at IBM. Tell us about yourself, sir. What do you got?
Oh yeah. So I too came from humble beginnings. Watched my parents struggle as minorities too. And yeah, I also came from humble beginnings. Watched my parents struggle as minorities. And then I met Lou a good amount of years, like 10 years ago, and he's doing something well and good for the community and to uplift.
What is your heritage? If you don't mind me asking?
I'm Indian.
Indian.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And my parents also didn't know a lot about finances and basic financial knowledge, but over the years, like we've kind of grown in that, and so it's going to be our purpose to spread that out.
All right, awesome. We might be able to do something later because we do exchanging cultures. Don't leave them hanging. Don't leave them hanging.
Dang.
We do exchanging cultures where I talk to different people with different cultures, different
Okay.
backgrounds. So maybe later on we can do something with you.
Will do.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Applause,
Good man.
applause. She's gonna be here later on talking more, but she's still gonna make an appearance real quickly.
This is my niece Genesis. She's in charge of helping us promote this thing, and also she's in charge of the mental health awareness stuff.
Yeah, so I focus on emotional literacy, and I'm the director of social media engagement.
All right, bravo. We've never done this like this before. Kind of
Yeah.
liked it a little bit. So big
Change it
round of
up.
applause to y'all. Thank you very much. I met y'all because I put together an event about Latinos, and I picked three organizations to do a fundraiser, and y'all were the first ones. In fact, I wasn't even ready. The doors weren't even
yeah,
open.
we came in.
And y'all was ready to go, and y'all even went to another place, came back, and then I thank y'all so much. I appreciate the support. We did great on the event. We supported three nonprofits. We were able to raise some good amount of funds, just being like a small thing, and it turned out great. So thank y'all so much. And of
You're
course, we kept in contact, and I'm glad you're here. So thank you so much. Now, you, in addition, you're originally from Oak Cliff, as you mentioned, but you also do different things. So you notice whenever you were growing up, you seen the gap as far as like the education, limited resources for low income families, right? Is
Yes,
that
sir.
something that would resonate with you personally because you lived it, or you seen it just around?
Exactly. I lived it. Both my parents, immigrants, came here young age, 16, 17, had kids. So even then, as kids in a new country, they had no opportunity to learn that stuff. So because of that, we had a lot of financial struggles growing up, and that was very impactful. So what I want to do is, now that I've gained this knowledge, go back and give it to the same community to avoid those kind of traumas and uplift the next generation.
Awesome.
So
What is Are you first generation? Where are your family from? Where they
Yeah, my
originated from?
parents are from. My dad is from Uriel, Guanajuato, a very small town,
Mm-hmm.
and then my mom's from Aguascalientes. Charco Azul also was a very small town,
Right.
and it's like when I go back there and visit, it's like you're stepping back into the 1800s. Everything's kind of old school.
Wow.
No kind of technology yet, but it's beautiful. I like it.
Isn't that like a amazing, beautiful thing whenever you go into some place where even seems like time slows down because
That's what
not
it is.
everybody's in a rush
Mm-hmm.
to get to places, to get to the money, kind of like we're here. I guess you can say conditioned to, hurry up and especially in the city here in Dallas, get to one place or another. You
Exactly.
can always tell when somebody's out of town because they're always driving super slow, like 60
Yeah.
miles an hour, and everybody's like, shoot, because we got
Yeah.
places to go. People are like, yeah, rude, you don't know how to drive. Like, no, we just got places to go. We have no time to wait. We have to be here. We have to be there, And
Yeah.
in little towns like that, because I was originally from a small little town,
Mm-hmm.
none of that matters.
And that's good because you need those places to like go back and disconnect and just relax, dude. Because sometimes it gets too fast out here.
Yeah, most definitely. Okay, so when you were growing up, what are the things that stand out to you the most as you were learning about financial education and then you were living you go back to your childhood, you were like, we were doing it all wrong. Like what was
Mm.
like why were we doing the things that we were doing the way that we were doing?
The main thing that I noticed would say that living paycheck to paycheck, and that put a big strain. Like if something comes up, you don't know what to do in terms of financial cost. So living paycheck to paycheck, which means not saving money, not budgeting. So those basic things people weren't doing, and not just my parents, but a lot of parents, a lot of people are doing like that. And it's just like that's something so easy to learn that can help you out for the rest of your life. And I'm surprised it stopped being taught in schools, and I'm trying to reintroduce it to them, see how it goes.
Okay. So paycheck to paycheck is the most because at any time, like, I just, not that long ago, maybe I heard the term, maybe I didn't care for it, but you having your emergency fund for a certain amount of time,
Hmm.
right? If you don't have that, I heard a gentleman say one time, the only reason why you have an emergency is because you are not prepared. You're right. If anything was to happen, you have a flat tire or whatever, you already been building, preparing for it. That's not a big deal. But if you have not been
Then
prepared,
it
you're
becomes
living
a big
paycheck to
deal.
paycheck.
Yeah.
That is an emergency for you
Hmm.
because you might not have the funds.
Exactly.
Okay. So what is it that you learned about financial education? What was it that you went to school? You took some courses? Did you join some type of group or anything like that that kind of helped you who in regards to the knowledge that you know now?
Honestly, I did it myself, just like going through knowledge bases online, just doing research online
Mm-hmm.
and trying to see what the best ways are to build generational wealth. And I think that's one of my ultimate goals to get to that point. And the first thing is learn the basics. Like in anything else, gotta learn the basics.
Awesome. Okay, I got so excited to ask you questions that I forgot to do a part.
Uh,
My bad, people. This is the first time. No, this is the second time it happened. Preguntas al Chile real quickly before we get rolling. Thank you so much for sharing that part. I think it's amazing and part of your introduction. Okay, Preguntas al Chile. Check out the episodes. And if you have any suggestions about me switching some of them, let me know. Tacos or tortas?
Tacos, bro, all day.
Corn tortilla or flour
Ay,
tortillas?
no mames, güey. Puro corn.
Puro corn. Gorditas o sopes?
Gorditas.
Horchata or Jamaica tamarindo
Y
aguas?
that was good. Horchata.
Team salsa verde or team salsa roja?
It depends, man, but mostly I'll say green, verde.
Okay. What when you hear the word Latino or Latina, Latinx, whatever the term, what first comes to mind? What immediately is the first thing that comes to mind to you?
For me, being Mexican, Mexico, but even that I feel like is a misnomer.
Uh huh.
Honestly, I think most Mexicans are indigenous, which is Indian,
Yeah.
Native American.
Yeah. Absolutely. And do you prefer the term of being called Latino, identify as Latino? Do you care? Do you rather be a person? Does it really matter to
I
you?
don't care, dude. Just a label. But
Nice.
I'm,
Awesome.
I'm a
Okay.
man. Hey, let me get my boy up here, Corey. Come up here real
Oh
fast.
yeah, we
Just
missed another gentleman.
just walk around, introduce yourself, tell us who you are, what you do, This is my friend Corey. I've known this boy since we went to college at UTA.
Yeah.
What's up, Corey? How you doing?
What's going
Crispin.
on? Chris?
So yes, sir.
Oh, man.
So he was running into the traffic that we have here in the Dallas Fort Worth area. Tell us
Indeed,
about
yeah,
you,
yeah.
brother.
You see, I'm a little bit
You good? Tell us
little
about
sweaty.
you.
Oh yeah, I'm Corey Taborn. I all right. I don't.
He's been lifting.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, I'm a software engineer. I started. I've known this guy since UTA. It's been about 15 years now. Right. And I'm the I'm on the board here.
What is it that you do? So you're a part of the board. What else
Yeah,
is it that you
yeah.
focus on?
Um, as well, mostly I'm a software developer, so I focus on that. That's my passion.
Awesome. Alrighty, well,
Um,
walk this way, sir. We're gonna give you an applause because all y'all be getting an applause. Thank you so much. Nice meeting you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much. Alrighty, so getting back to the interview, of course, you said that your parents immigrated, and of course, you went through all that. So you self-taught pretty much all the things that you know about finances.
Mhm.
Where did you decide? Was there anything that happened, any event to be like, well, why am I like this? Why am my mindset is like this and it's not like that? Was there anybody that you were looking into that made sense to you? Like, oh wow, that's how people are getting wealthier. That's how people are getting more prepared. That's how people are actually making it happen instead of the same habits that we always have that we have to break in order to make changes.
Yeah. TV.
Really?
I see like TV, like they're living a better life, and how are they doing? What's different that they're doing? So that got me thinking as a kid. And honestly, I wasn't gonna start this nonprofit until I retired, but I got laid off and had some time, so I decided to create it then, and it worked that well. It's a little bit hard balancing the job and the nonprofit, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel it's more beneficial since I have more energy now than when I retire.
All right. So you actually went to school as well. You went to college,
Hmm.
also first generation to do so. How did it feel to be one of the first ones to finish a bachelor's degree? Which kind of
Bachelor's,
degree?
yeah.
Awesome. Congratulations.
First one, yeah, thank you, sir. First in my family to do it. Not my first. I think Rosie, my older sister, was
Oh,
first,
awesome.
but we were the first generation to get the college degrees. So we were proud. It's a little milestone, but not too big celebration. My parents didn't really care. We just gotta get it and go to the next thing. See what happens.
Okay. Tell me about that. Did they not really care, or then maybe they didn't understand what you was doing, the reason why you were doing what you were doing to better yourself as far as getting a degree?
That's a good question. I think it's both. I think they didn't care and they didn't understand because even in high school, my parents were like, "Hey, go to work, go to work. You gotta pay for stuff." And I did. I went to work even in high school, paid for my own college, whatever. But that's the mentality that they had from their parents, where you grow up as soon as you can start working. But what they're missing is that if you get an education, you can work and make more money. So that's something that my sister Rosie taught me, and I teach my siblings
Yeah.
and cousins that we need the education to move forward and be able to better manage those finances too.
Okay. I'm super proud of you for getting your degree. Um, it resonates a little bit with me because I can kind of sort of feel it because sometimes your parents don't understand. Maybe at one point you seek validation from your mom, your dad, and they don't really, maybe they don't know how to express because maybe the way they grew up,
True, exactly.
and you kind of sort of have to put yourself not in their position, but put yourself in like the type of life that they live and the reason why they were not able to do the things they did.
And
I
that's
ask
why,
a lot of questions of
and
my parents.
and that's why I don't have any kind of a resentment for them because I know they didn't know, they didn't have that knowledge,
Right.
so I can't be mad at them for not knowing.
Okay. But now you know regarding education, so you started working on that. And then when did the idea, so I know you wanted to do a retirement many years from now,
Mhm.
but you got a little bit of extra time. When did the idea of starting the nonprofit? Of course, it's a little bit related to your story, right? But
Mhm.
why take the initiative to go ahead and make the foundation?
Well, I had plans even when I was in high school, college, to do this. But when I got laid off, I'm like, hey, I have a lot of time. I had about a year of savings build up. So like, I'll take some time off. I'll focus on my body, focus on my mind, and start the nonprofit. So that's what I did, and this what brought us here.
Okay. Why First Foundation, the name itself? What does it mean? What does it come from? Where it originated?
Yes.
Was there any other names that were runner ups?
Yeah, I like the first foundation. It's from a series of books, um, and basically, this guy builds foundations because he
Mm-hmm.
knows the world is gonna crash. So he builds these foundations to help rebuild the world once it goes down. Um, so what's that book called? Do you remember? The Foundation, right? By Isaac Asimov, the
Mm-hmm.
Foundation series.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a very good author, and he even predicted a lot of stuff that's happening now.
Really?
Uh,
That's
and
awesome.
and what he did is that he took the fall of the Roman Empire and he put it in the future when outer space. Um, so a lot of things are in parallel, which is kind of even stuff that's happening now with the U.S.
What is that particular law called? The something empires.
Which one?
Can always remember where every empire always falls.
A
Like they,
thousand years.
yeah. There's a particular law for it or something like that. That every something empires. Hmm?
2000. But you know what the law is called?
There's a particular name for it. I can never recall the damn name, but there's a particular name for every empire after a certain amount of time.
Check the
There's
internet.
certain sequences that happen, certain things that happen, and then
Empires
before
fall.
it's just like, psh,
Yeah.
there's like a law they call it or some kind of something.
Let's call it the Crispin law.
For sure. Creating laws now. Let's get
Oh,
it
yeah.
passed. Okay, so that's how you decide to go for the name.
Yeah.
You the one that comes up with the name itself. Do you bring it to a group? Is there any group at that time? It's only just
No, it
you
was
yourself.
just me. I did all the paperwork, all the stuff, and I like that name, so I just put it on there. Since I was filling out the paperwork and paying for that stuff, I just took initiative and did it.
Okay. As amazing as one person can do a bunch of stuff, is better whenever you have a group of people
Agreed.
helping you out, right? So when did you decide to start reaching out to your people to see who can help you, who can you get involved, who will be down with what you're trying to do, who can connect with the things that they know, you know their background, you know they're
Mhm.
similar to yours, and they want to better the next generation or even the people that are here now.
Yeah, I started in August, and I think around October I had narrowed down who would be best able to help in this endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
But I've known these people for years, so it was easy to locate them.
Okay. Was there anybody that like sometimes you get rejections. People don't understand it. People don't see your vision because it's
Mhm.
given to you. Even though you try to transfer it to somebody else, they just don't get it.
Yeah.
Did you get discouraged of anybody that didn't want to partake for whatever reason?
No, no discouragement at all. I mean, there were a few that didn't want to do it, uh, because they thought it was a trick or whatever. I'm like, okay. So that tells
Really?
me,
They thought it was a trick, straight
yeah,
up. Well, at
that-
least they were honest, right?
yeah, exactly. So I appreciate that. So I'm like, okay, then I'll move on. So those are some family members. But then after doing research, I realized I can't even ask family members to join the board. But maybe later on in some other capacity.
So that's part of the things that you have to know regarding the board that family
Mhm.
members are not able to be part of it.
Correct.
Tell me about the mission and ultimate goal for First Foundation. What would that be?
The
Or what it is?
mission for First Foundation is to provide knowledge and help to first generation Hispanics. But honestly, I think we're open to helping anybody in any way. But my focus is that financial literacy.
Okay. And how do you implement that? How do you get that across? How do you execute the mission? What are the things that you do to get that done?
Right now, since we're barely starting, we're getting the word out. So I'm going to vendor events and things like that, the gala, networking events, and just meeting people, even online, LinkedIn. I met some people, Instagram, and then once we get that following going, we'll be able to better promote our classes and more attendance.
Okay. So how long? What year was the actual foundation established?
It was this year.
This year itself,
Yeah.
2024. So even when we met, it wasn't a foundation yet itself.
Mhm.
It was just in the building
I think,
phases.
yeah, it had been submitted.
Really?
Yeah.
You were still waiting for approval at that time.
Yeah.
Wow. And you already started
Wait,
begin to
no, because we made it, what was it, March or in May? So
May. Was it already May? Man,
yeah,
what
yeah.
I feel like it was last year.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
why.
felt the same thing, but yeah, it was in May. It was this year, so we were already
So
in foundation.
I can't remember.
I don't know why I thought it was like in
It's the
November or
same
something.
thing
I
for
don't know.
me. I was thinking forever, like it was a year ago, but I didn't realize how fast it's been moving and the things that I've been executing. Like, and it was this year. So okay, so barely started, submitted paperwork, but you already knew that you got to get out and about and meet people in order to
Mhm,
make a difference,
mhm.
right?
That's
That's
what we
awesome.
did. That's why we came early and ate some chips and everything.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm telling you, they were the very first people. I wasn't even ready. I was running around still trying to figure. When I tell you, it was literally I had a partner. She did her thing, but the rest was me. I was like running all over the place trying to get it done.
You
So,
guys did a good job, man.
but I like the fact that y'all were so professional there and open a conversation and talking, and then the professionalism, and then even then, just knowing that it was one of your first events.
Mhm.
That is like you already know that you have to be out and about to meet the people. Where does that come from as far as knowing that networking and connecting with people it really makes a difference to drive you?
I think for me, it's just the family. In our family, we always, talk to everybody in the group, in the party, whatever. So it was relatively easy for me to just connect with anybody.
Okay. And as of right now, what are the goals for First Foundation? What do you have in mind as far as the next step that you want to, the next milestone you want to reach?
Next milestone for me would be to connect with the schools, which I'm in the process of doing now. Actually, actually, the principal at Sunset High School, which is the high school where I live, where I
Mm-hmm.
grew up, is actually one of my old high school friends.
Awesome.
So I'm trying to connect with that guy and set up classes with them, and also other schools in the area.
Awesome. Okay. And we're running short on time for your time. Thank you so much for being here. Do you have anything else in mind? Anything that you thought driving over here? Like, I wish he asked me about this, or I wish he touches up on this. Is there anything?
Um, let's say artificial intelligence. So I want to use
Uh huh.
artificial intelligence to eventually take control of this company and be able to help people without me being in any kind of effort for me or even alive. So I want this to keep going.
Yeah. Even after your time. Awesome. What is an important lesson that you've learned, even as young as 1 year or so, or very recent foundation? I don't know if it will work, but still, we're gonna try it. What are some of the things that you've ever learned that you would tell yourself when you first got started about the foundation that will get you moving quicker within the foundation
Hmm.
to get the foundation at a better place?
For me, a motivating statement was just as long as we can help one family, one person,
Right.
then it was all worth it.
Yeah. Have you reached that one goal of helping one family?
Oh yeah,
And how did
considering
it feel when you first knew that you had really had results within that family that were taking in the information is really impacting? They can see a
yeah,
change. How do you feel for you?
proud, happy. I feel like my time here means something and has a positive impact.
Awesome. When everything it's something that I usually do. It's a statement. It's a mantra. It's a saying. It's a whatever. Right. I'm not immortal. I am mortal, and I will die one day. And that's not to scare me, frighten me, terrorize me, or oh my God, I'm gonna go. It's just a
Yeah.
reality in life, right? We have to understand that that happens, right? With that, I wish you a long, prosperous life. I wish everything in your foundation becomes true and some more. What do you want people to think and feel about your life when everything's said and done?
Um, One of my mantras is that uh, you know we're like a grain of sand on the beach in terms of time and impact. So what I want people to remember for the short time that I'm remembered is that I made the world better than when I got here.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Luis. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. We're going to make a switch real quickly. We're going to have Hennessy's come in and talk a little bit about more of what the foundation does. So, gracias. Thank you so much for checking out this full episode of the Global Latin Factor podcast. Make sure you go and subscribe. Leave us a thumbs up. Leave us a comment that you were here today. Thank you very much. Till next time. And we are, I don't even know if the cut's going to be good, but we are back with another of the members of First Foundation. We have a social engagement and mental health literacy coordinator, passionate nurse interested in mental health and therapy, therapy animals to support health, lifestyle, marketing, and partnering coordinator to bring awareness to the organization. Genesis Contreras en la casa. Hi.
Hey, that's a long, drawn out name for what I do.
I mean, it's your
Lots of
it's
titles.
what they have on your website. I mean, you got
Right.
who's the website engineer? Oh, she's the one to stand on that. I need all these titles.
Yeah, I
Oh
know.
my,
Just
okay.
make me bigger than I am.
Welcome
No.
to the podcast. Oh no, you're great. You're amazing. I'm pretty sure you are. Just like yeah. So okay, the we're gonna do a little segment too for Preguntas Al Chile very briefly también. Tacos o tortas.
Tacos.
Corn tortilla, flour tortilla.
Corn.
Corn. Oh yeah, really a
Of
corn
course.
family. Gorditas o sopes.
Gorditas.
Mexican coca o jarrito.
Mexican coca.
Okay. Team salsa verde, team salsa roja.
Salsa verde.
A conspiracy theory that you heard one time, then when somebody told it to you, you're like, that has to be true. Ain't no way that's not true. What would that be?
Oh, there's so many of them.
You tell me one.
Like the Twin Towers that they were planned. Those are it's kind of
I don't know if
controversial.
it's information. I'm just kidding. Go ahead. Hey, there's all kinds of people that talk about it. But what other one?
That the moon landing was planned. Not that I don't believe the moon landing is real, but that's just a controversy that I've heard.
There's a new movie that's coming out about that, and
Really? Oh no.
I feel like somewhere deep in my being, I don't feel like we really went to the moon
No, you can't say that.
because we have never gone back again for like years. 60
Well, we put
plus
satellites
something
up there.
years. Huh?
We put satellites up
I
there.
mean, okay.
He says, I guess.
I guess. I don't know. Until I go there and see it and touch
Yeah.
it and see if it's made out of cheese, then I will know.
The
If not,
moon. Okay.
you might be too young, but there's people that used to. It's like a thing back in the days. that they
Yeah, I
went-
saw that.
Okay, so yeah. Anyways, moon landing was it real or not? I don't know, but yeah, y'all be the judges. Real quickly, when you hear the word Latino, Latina, what comes to mind for you?
I think all of South America. I think Mexico. I think Chile. I think Argentina. I think people of melanin skin color. That's what I think.
Awesome. And do you prefer the term Latina, Latino? Do you care? Do you mind? Does matter?
I don't mind.
You don't mind? Okay. So for you, what is your? I know I gave you a lot of titles and everything. For before I go into that, what is your background as far as your roots, your family, where they're from? I know that's your cousin. Luis is your cousin.
Mhm.
So where are they from? Are they the same from the same area también?
Yeah, he's my uncle actually, and we're
Uncle.
from Aguascalientes, Chaco Azul, and that's my grandparents. So
Ah.
I'm what, second generation now.
Yeah.
And I grew up in Oak Cliff, but I moved around. So Grand Prairie, Dallas, Oak Cliff. As a kid, we were just moving from place to place.
Yeah. And what was there a lot of movement? Is that because just the general just got like to move? Yeah, nomads?
Oh yeah, no, we would. If I could pack up all the things and move again and again, I would choose not to. But we moved because of financial struggle,
Mm-hmm.
which is where our family came from. Like he stated early on, we kept him moving because housing was difficult,
Right.
finding a house, buying a house, renting out a house.
Yeah.
So that's why we moved.
Okay. So knowing that, when he approached you regarding the foundation, how did that conversation go? And were you all in to trying to do something about it? Because you both kind of sort of came from the same kind of part. I don't know if you ever had a conversation about, hey, we suck it in this finance. What was going on?
Yeah, when he brought it up, I was very enthusiastic
Awesome.
about the organization. I mean, the fact that he would think about it and then put it into play. Like we talk about things all the time as families. Oh, I wish we could do this, or we should go on a family vacation, and we're starting to actually like go and follow through with these plans.
Yeah.
And so bringing that up, I was like, oh, this is like you've talked about this, and this is a dream come true for you. So I would be, I would love to offer a helping hand.
Yeah, that's great. So you're a nurse. You're a nurse. Are you a regular or
So I'm actually in nursing school.
in nursing school?
Yeah,
right
so
now?
I'm not a nurse yet, so I don't earn that title quite yet.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, but right now I work at Baylor and I'm in the rehabilitation department. So after all the surgeries and after you come out from the big hospital, if you need PT, OT, speech therapy, you come and see someone like me.
Yeah, that's great. And what made you want to do that particular work? It seems like your theme is helping people a lot. You're like in that
Yeah.
direction.
Yeah, no. So I chose nursing specifically because it's just like another way to make someone's day. You see people at their very low and you help build them up, and that's
Yeah.
exactly why I wanted to do nursing.
Okay. So now he brings you the conversation about doing it. You realize that he's really doing it. He's really it's not just talk, it's action.
Yeah.
Then
yeah.
at that time, again, you're really enthusiastic. It feels like you're excited about it. I can sense it. What is the next step for you? When do you start implementing, getting in there and start making whatever the part you're going to be?
Right. So, as you know, I have a lot of titles. I
Mhm.
focus a lot on social media right now.
Okay.
So making flyers. I've gone to a few of the vendor events, which is when you and I met.
Absolutely.
And so my part that I want to really hone in on is the emotional literacy standpoint. So just making those classes that are supposed to be coming up in this, August. Hopefully, I can dedicate more of my time there.
Right. Why that? Why specifically that?
I think that statistically in the Latino community, we don't really talk about actually like, oh, I feel this, I feel sad, I feel upset,
Yeah.
I'm emotional today. Like we tell our parents and they're like, ponte las pilas, like you should, get your things and keep on going without through your day, It's not really, we don't focus in on the moment and process why we feel sad, which is why we build resentment to different people,
Mhm.
which is why we can't, or we have outbursts or we get angry really fast. Um,
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what Latinos are known for, being loud and being, you hear the crazy, oh, my Latina girlfriend is super crazy, and because she's Latina, not because all of the other things that happened in her past.
I was telling somebody the other day, and I'm not even licensed for anything, but I was telling her, look, she had a bad experience with a Latina,
Mm-hmm.
and Hollywood doesn't help portraying Latinas as spicy Latinos or fiery Latinos,
Mm-hmm.
but like, that's a lie.
Yeah.
Because first of all, the moms, most of the moms that are in the household for Latinas, they're the leaders of the household, right? Everything doesn't
Yeah.
move without them doing the things that they do,
Yeah.
you know?
They're like the foundation.
Yeah.
They're compassionate. They're there to give you your lunch. They're there in the kitchen every single day.
Yeah.
I know some very strong Latinas, and that's what I encompass what a Latina should be. Not all of these Hollywood things that portray us as being
Yeah.
loud or yelling or we're crazy. We just, punch holes through the wall or something like
Yeah.
that.
And the other thing is that in addition to that, they're not even stay-at-home moms. They do their job and come back and still do another one. So it's never ending for them, right? And it's
Mm-mm.
like I hardly ever see them take a break, complain, or just do stuff. They're just doing stuff, right? And
Yeah.
then that's more of the things that I relate to, not the stuff in Hollywood. I'm like, that's just
Yeah.
they make it romanticized like it's a thing. It sucks that like what you were saying earlier, things that because it's just like everybody, right? If you're hurt when you were growing up and you've seen a bunch of stuff, you're gonna be either defensive, you're gonna be aggressive, you're gonna be defensive, uh, physically because somebody's trying to put you down or whatever, and that's
Right.
not gonna be the case for you.
Yeah.
So whenever you run into somebody and maybe they didn't like your tone or whatever, then it will be like, "What's up?" Like, no, it's not gonna go
Yeah.
like that.
You learn how to be what they call like hard.
Yeah,
You have a hardened shell.
yeah,
And it becomes difficult for you, especially in romantic relationships or even relationships at your work, for
yeah.
you to be vulnerable or for you to speak up or for you to just say anything without it coming across as, oh, that's your tone and that's your attitude.
So I know you want to focus on that and kind of explain to me why, but did you want to? Where did that happen to you that you seen that was an issue that we have that we need to kind of sort of maybe work out and be better about communicating those feelings, those emotions when things are happening?
I think I've noticed a lot of that growing up, just how my family would speak to other family members, or that there was a lack of boundaries. And especially with my relationship with my mother, it was
Mm-hmm.
very, easy to see that there were no boundaries. And I wanted to change that. And then when I tried to, it came across as you're disrespecting me because I'm your parent and you're the child. And so growing up, I really wanted to change that. And so
Right.
at the age of 17, I left home and I went into a family. And they really honed in on, let's talk about your emotions for a second. Like, you're upset right now. Let's sit down and why are you feeling this way? When was the last time that you felt this way? And how are we dealing with it now versus bottling up inside and then having a spillage of emotions and just an outburst of, yelling and screaming or crying, like,
Okay.
because you can't communicate it.
All right. So take me back a little bit. 17, like you left home, just you ran away. Some other family adopted you, or how did that work out? And what kind of family was that? Was it Latino too? Was it from a different culture? Because it sounds like from a different culture. So I'm always
Yeah.
concerned and guess where they come from.
Right. No, so at 17, I say I left home. I
Uh
was
huh.
really kicked out of my home. Um,
Because you were disobedient and disrespectful.
Well, no, because I had a conversation with my mom and I said, hey, look, we don't have any boundaries and I want to be respected too. And I want you to hear my opinions. And for someone that comes from my culture, saying that to your parents is really, really hard. So
Yeah.
I said that and she got really upset and she said, well, I'm going to choose where you live next. And I said, you're not going to choose where I live next. I will be the one choosing. And so she said, if you do that, we cut off all ties. No, I'm not going to help you at any point in time. Don't reach out to me. So we didn't talk for a very long time. And I think my uncle was also there with me the night or a couple days after that happened. I went into a different culture. They were um, white people. Um, and their, I guess, the household father, his name was William Ferguson. he married this woman named Erica Ferguson now, and she was a reverend, and she honed in on and inspired me to pursue emotional literacy.
Where do you find these people? How did they take you in? You were just somewhere in the road, like, hey, I need
Yeah,
a
no.
house.
So I was dating his son at the time. His name was Aaron, and we went to the same high school. But the high school was like middle school and high school combined. So through sixth grade and 12, I mean, we were best friends for the longest time. And then when everything came, I was like, I really need a place to stay. And he's like, you can stay at my place. And I was like, okay, sure. And so I stayed there for about 2 years until I moved to a different spot. But within those 2 years, I learned so much. I think that was
Right.
right around COVID. And so we
Wow.
had a lot of time in the house. We couldn't go out. We were quarantining. We were wearing masks.
Yeah.
And Erica made sure that we had like therapy 3 times a week. We had family therapy, we had individual therapy, and we just honed in on, okay, what are our personalities? How do we take this? And with any problem that happened, we all stopped, dropped everything, and we focused and talked about it.
Okay. And when was it that you and your mom came back together? Was that still a working in progress, or
No, that's still a work in progress.
okay?
So I noticed for myself that I haven't processed all of those emotions yet.
Ah,
So I have to put a boundary up and say, hey, we can't talk right now because I can't have an actual conversation with you without getting upset with you.
and did you feel hurt about it? Did you express that?
Um, so there was a lot more conversations other than just that one, but we definitely left each other with some scars, I would say. We got upset. She was hurt that I felt like I'm leaving her. I was
Yeah.
hurt that I felt like I had nobody. I mean, 17 years old, going into a different household. I don't know anything. And on top of that, I lost all of my friends, all of my family,
Yeah.
except for my uncle and my grandmother, who later came around and said, "This is the best thing for you." And I'm really, glad that you were an adult enough and independent enough to do this on your own.
Yeah. I appreciate you sharing. I know it's kind of personal,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if anybody had anything like this or any even how to handle anything like this as far as being able to be the grown up even though you're younger. Again, I don't blame your mom so much. Maybe she doesn't know any better, or maybe
Yeah,
just the way we grew up because
she
that's how
tried
we
her
grew up.
best.
Yeah,
She
absolutely.
really did.
But you saw that there was an issue that it would maybe escalate, or maybe it wasn't going to be the best for you, and made the best decision for yourself
Mm-hmm.
to get out of the situation.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You seem very strong to me. You really
Oh,
do.
thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, so as far as the classes or the marketing and the fundraising, how y'all tackling that? How y'all planning to go forward with that? How y'all doing the fundraising? And of course, you are doing the marketing and the promotion, but what else are you
Right.
doing?
So, as of right now, we only have the social media platform
Mm-hmm.
Instagram.
Okay.
And now, Instagram has been really difficult in terms of algorithm. We say we're a nonprofit, but it's hard when you post reels and having people watching them. And it's like, okay, how do we connect this to what we're actually doing?
Gotcha.
So, I feel like in terms of marketing, our vendor events is where we get the most amount of our people engagement. Word of mouth is how anything travels
Mm-hmm.
nowadays. Social media is great, but it's difficult to have a human connection with social media.
Right.
You can like a picture, but you won't subscribe. You can keep scrolling. You can say, oh, that's a really good cause, but you'll keep scrolling. We need
Yeah.
people that are actually connecting with us. And our targeted audience, the students, it's summer right now. So, in terms of marketing, these vendor events, these kids are all going and doing other things.
Yeah.
So, which is why we're going to start, that ball rolling really going in August when everybody's like going into the mindset of I'm going back to school and now I need to, get my ducks in a row.
Is there plans? Maybe a lot of people do supply drives or school supply drives, or collecting supplies for kids and things like that. Anything like that in the works?
Not as of right now that I know of. I know Luis has been going to most of these vendor events.
Mm-hmm.
As of right now, he's been going to the Oak Cliff Farmers Market events,
Yeah.
which brings in a lot of families that we want to target and get their kids involved.
I am going to work with Chase for Oak Cliff, bring backpacks from Chase for Oak Cliff.
So Chase, you're working with Chase to bring backpacks to the kids. Awesome, awesome. Okay, and again, one more time, the fundraising part. How is it work? Where can people, if they just want to donate, go to the website? I know I seen the website. Visit the website. There's a place to donate,
Yeah.
things like that. But if anybody wanted to, is that the best place to go?
Yes, that is the best place to go.
Okay.
As a 501c3, we cannot take cash, and I know it's easy just to hand off someone cash
Really?
whenever you're on at these events.
Wow.
But as that sort of charity, you can't take cash. So the best way to donate would be on the website and through the website, which I recommend everybody who's watching, please donate.
We're going to put the website on the description. Hopefully, I'll send it to Carlos too. I'm going to send it to Carlos too so he can put it right here on the table. Carlos, right here. It's going to be right here, okay? I'm going to put the website with fireworks and everything. Okay. And as far as the classes, so how are they structured? How you're coming up with the curriculum as far as putting the class together? You have to kind of simplify, especially being with kids, and kind of make it simple to understand so they can kind of grasp. I don't
Right.
know if parents are welcome too. The parents might need it as well. But
Yeah.
how is it that you're structuring the classes, the curriculum, how often they're going to happen? Where can people sign up?
Right. So I know Luis's ultimate goal, or the founder, I should say, his ultimate goal is to get everybody involved. You know, when you start with the kids, they're like, oh, wait, I learned how to save money. Let me talk to my parents about it. It's a family thing because
Yeah.
word gets around in a family.
Yeah.
In terms of structure, I think the emotional part and the financial part go very well together.
Yeah.
I know Warren Buffett once said that if you can't control your emotions, you can't control your money. So you have to be able to do both. An outburst of money, you get upset, oh, I'm going to go drinking tonight, you know. Or you get really, really sad. It's like, okay, I'm going to go spend a lot of money on this kind of food. You know, just outs that people have.
Retail
especially-
therapy is real.
Yeah, no, it really is. Sometimes I need a one or two. But in terms of classes, emotional literacy classes will start at 12 weeks, and then financial classes will start at 6 weeks. The emotional literacy classes will be kind of like a pick up and go. So you don't have to attend the entire 12 weeks to know what we're talking about. It's going to be like, we're going to be talking about this subject today, and then we're going to be talking about this the other day. And I hope to have accountability buddies. So anybody who attends these classes, and they're going to be mostly virtual classes, because it's more enticing for someone to go to a virtual class and to click a link and be in their bed and still hear something versus someone to show up at some place at this point in time. And nobody's getting accustomed to that, especially after COVID now. So just being able to be, you know, at arm's reach. But the emotional literacy classes will be focusing on subjects coined by specific celebrity psychologists, like Esther Perel or like John Lee. And John Lee is known for his, what's it called? How to grow up faster. So whenever you're in, how to be an adult, you know, how to get yourself back to an adult state. And Esther Perel focuses on relationships. So we'll be focusing on, you know, how to compose yourself, if you're feeling these feelings, how to let them out, how to talk to your inner child, what's your outer child, all of those great terms.
Okay. I seen on the website something, I don't know if the classes are free or not, but something about enrolling or there was a fee or something like that. How does that work exactly? Can you explain to me how the breakdown of that?
So because we're a nonprofit, none of our classes will be charged. We talk mostly in if you want to come, like if you want us to come to your certain event as another nonprofit or as a school, that is somewhere we're going to charge.
Got you.
Because we do need the money and we do need the resources in order to show up at these kinds of events. You know, it's a nonprofit, so yes, it's free, but you know, our time isn't free at the end of the day. We don't have a ton of time to just dedicate to this. We also have other lives.
Right.
As you know, our board members have jobs outside of this, and you know, I have school as well as another job too.
Yeah, awesome. My sister's a nurse, and
Oh yeah.
she's been a nurse for some time, Parkland, and I think it's great. It's a great work that she does.
Oh yeah.
I seen the kind of how much work she puts in as far as like putting in the hours in school and stuff. So
Oh yeah.
should be
12
proud of her.
hours, 12-hour days, 12-hour
Yeah,
nights.
too much for me. I'll pass. Not me. And then I like the buddy accountability buddy thing because I used to be in the military. We had the battle buddy, and I thought
Okay.
it was a great concept to always have somebody like watch your back and stuff like that. At least for in the military terms,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. All right, thank you, Hennessy, for your time so much. That's pretty much right now what I have for you. Any shout outs that you have and all your social media real quickly, can you let us know?
Yes, so you can follow us at The First Foundation on Instagram. I'm sure there will be a link in the description, correct? Also, check out our website. That's a perfect place to donate. And any events that are coming, you can sign up with our newsletter on our website.
She should be the spokesperson. She's the spokesperson. It needs to be. I have. We're gonna pause here, a small break, and we're gonna just have him talk for a little bit. And thank you so much, Hennessy. I appreciate
thank
you. Alrighty. All right, we're back with another member. Please, one more time, remind me your name. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Nigel David.
Nigel David.
Yeah, and I'm here as I'm one of the board members on at the First Foundation.
Okay. When you first get the message, the call, what is your thoughts about it?
Well, it's a noble cause, and it's one that speaks to me as well too. You know, being of Indian origin, being a minority as well, and coming from a low income background as well too.
What is the things that you went through life, through your life experiences, to realize that you were struggling, you were not financially, literally, you really didn't know what was going on with finances? Were you the paycheck to paycheck type of stuff, or how did it work for you all?
So for me, it actually starts with my parents, right? My parents are both from India, from poorer families. My dad has a more crazier story where there's 8 children splitting 2 eggs type of situation.
Wow.
Yeah, and you know, like you stretch those eggs with milk and onions and everything. But so coming from that, I actually my parents were the ones who made it out of poverty, but I also got to like experience that journey from being poor to them, slowly gaining wealth throughout. So that's a little bit about my
Do
background.
you ever, whenever you're going through that, like now you can recall back, it's like, man, we were broke, we were poor. Do you ever get that feeling, sensation, like, damn, we were really sucking, like we really had it bad,
Yeah, yeah.
and compared to where you're at now?
Yeah, definitely. I do remember one thing I was just recalling is like like our babysitters, our parents give them like a couple of dollars here and there, and that they'd
Yeah.
always change their numbers because they were getting chased by the like for tax evasion constantly. So,
Wow.
so we had different babysitters. Always they had the same. They had different names, but they're always like the same people.
Oh wow.
Um,
What is the what part of India are your parents originally from?
from South India. My dad's from Bangalore. My mom's from Mangalore. I was born in Mangalore,
Yeah.
India.
And what is your background as far as what do you do? Like, what did you learn about? What is your part as far as the foundation?
Um, so I mainly just I mainly just help and kind of help create plans, and I did the website to do some more of the technical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My background is I'm a software engineer,
Mm-hmm.
and so yeah, I kind of wanted to bring some of that to the table.
Some of that to the table. Awesome. And for you, as far as the foundation itself, like whenever he was telling you, I know it relates to the way you were growing up, but did it feel like you could really make a difference as far as the things that he was saying? And at first, did you believe that he was going to do the things he was doing, or not necessarily?
Yeah, so the thing is, that it's not necessarily about me. When I heard about it, he may not be a good looking guy, but he's a very genuine guy, and
Yeah.
uh he's a very intelligent guy.
Hey, that was not me, bro. That was all him.
No, yeah,
I was kidding.
that was a joke, but yeah, like yeah, back in the day when we used to work at IBM together, like, I wasn't doing anything very productive, but at the end of the day, he was always going and teaching GED classes. So it's the vision is more about like me believing in him and like what he is capable of doing with this foundation.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, thank you. I appreciate you sharing a little bit of that. I mean, we were wanted to expand more on the conversation, but I wanted to keep, and do it within the hours. So, anything else that you have in mind regarding the foundation, the people that want to, maybe they don't understand it yet, maybe they don't see the importance of the foundation. Why should they donate? Why should they support? Why should they attend the classes?
Yeah. So I mean, in essence, like all finances really are is you want less expenses than your income is. I mean, that's really all it is to be financially stable. So it's a very simple thing, but it gets hard to execute. Life isn't simple. So that's what we're aiming. Yeah, that's what we're aiming to teach. And the reason to donate would be, right, if we can help bring each other up, regardless of like income or culture, that's good for the world in general.
Okay. So with everything, I think the hardest part is it's a simple concept. The execution could be fine, but the consistency and the discipline to have it in there too. For you, I'm pretty sure some of the things that y'all done kind of helped you. What helps you stay disciplined to make sure you do those things? Like live below your means, maybe save more, maybe be more vigilant as far as where the money's going, having whether you do a budget, whatever it is that the way that the account holds you accountable for making sure that you're doing the right thing too.
Yeah, so I mean, you hit on one of them. A budget is probably the most important thing, and it is a little hard to do and start out, but that's the one thing where you can kind of balance out where all your money is going, and if you want to save in a certain area, and there's so many tools, like Credit Karma now, like just does all your online accounts for you, right? So it'll create your budget for you.
What is it called again?
Credit Karma.
Credit Karma.
Yeah, formerly Mint. Yeah.
Mint.
Yeah. So there's that, and then I think one of the biggest things. This is a very cliche thing in all like financial literacy books you
Yeah.
read is wealth is really what you make of it. It's not flashy cars or a flashy lifestyle, but it could be like as simple like for wealth for me is really just going to bed and having a good night of sleep, or like not worrying about my finances at night.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's so weird that in regular modern life, right, wealth is like having the flashy car, the Instagram popping, being in the club, whatever the case might be, right? But there's just to some people, right? Other people is just like you said, peace of mind, being able to fall asleep, not knowing that nobody's gonna come get your car, nobody's gonna kick you out your house, that you're gonna have a meal the next day, and it's like a beautiful thing for you.
Right.
That's those things are in order, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as far as discipline though, who's your accountability buddy here to make sure that you're good with your make sure you're doing the right thing?
Well,
Luis?
So yeah, unfortunately, none of them. For me right now, it's gonna be my parents. Just because like culturally for me, I think an important part of my life is gonna be taking care of my parents whenever they get older.
Mm.
I don't necessarily want to do the whole old home thing, retirement, home. So yeah, I want to be financially set for that point of life. Not to be able to take care of them too.
Okay, here's one of the tips for all people watching. If you don't want to be in a home, if you have kids, right? Check it out. So you're gonna tell them, your kids growing up all the time. You're gonna remind them you have a bunch of money. Whether you have a bunch of money or not doesn't matter. You're just gonna keep telling them that. And if they put you in a home, they ain't gonna see a cent. So make sure that you don't go to a home. I'm just saying. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you. I know you came out of state, and I'm pretty sure you have things that you got to see here, bro. I appreciate your time so much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Chris.
All right, this was another amazing episode of the Global Latin Factor podcast. Remember to subscribe. Don't be playing around with you. I'm gonna find you. I swear I am. I'm not a detective, but I'm pretty good at finding people. But anyways, we appreciate you very much for being here, consistently checking out the episodes, consistently giving us likes, shares, and telling your people about it so much. What's up, Luis? You got something?
No, just saying subscribe, sign up, everything, everywhere. Dope interview, sir. Appreciate it very much.
Awesome. And again, remember that we are just like you. We are humans. We are the spice in this melted pot that it is the world. Till next time. Bye. Thank you very much for checking out this episode of the Global Latin Factor podcast. Make sure you go and subscribe to the channel. Check out the content and the episodes that we have ready for you. Thank you very much. Till next time.
Pero but in fact is a flamingo coming to Havana and from Puerto Rico.